Guys, I'm probably not gonna do a lot of do a little responding, but I'm just sitting in the salon. I had a some time, um, just talking with one of my people on my mastermind team, just thinking about how much she's gone through and how much I've gone through. And I was talking to my cousin, man. It's just been an awesome day of just brainstorming with people, and he just encouraged me. He was like, man, you gotta tell that story. You gotta actually tell that story because people need to know what has happened, how this works. I intentionally started, and this is a little drama, so I hope it drives home the point. Hey there, everyone that's commenting. Hey there, Lucretia. Hey there, Angela. But I started the Periscope angle because this is how I used to go to sleep. I used to go to sleep in this room that used to be a station that is now kind of where I used to do some other things. It's where I kind of store some things. But this was the smallest room in the salon, and this is where I could kind of get all of the temperature to kind of be controlled, because my building is above ground and it get really cold, man, at nighttime. And at the time so I'm just kind of letting you know, I used to have, this is just two. These are two of the heaters that I used to have. I kept them all this time. And then there was another one that I used to keep that was really like at the head, and I used to have a futon up in here. But at night, to freeze my buns off, I used to wear a jacket like this, right? And I used to go to sleep with a Scully because I owed a tremendous amount of money to the gas company. And when I first opened, I didn't understand anything about business. I was 29 years old. And so I started the Periscope, guys, just to kind of give you an idea, like, and you just take this story how you want. My point is to just be as open and honest and transparent. I don't want folks to have a misconception about anything that we're doing. Somebody said, why does he go so hard? Why does he think like he does? Why does he push? Why does he say some of the things that he says? It's because of, and everybody's got a story. I just saw a good friend of mine on here, Barry and Company. Everybody got a story, man. Everybody has been through something, and I got a bunch of stories I could tell, but I think this one is important because everybody wants to be a salon owner. Everybody wants to own something. So it's important that people know, people, I don't even think all my staff that's ever worked for me even know what happened in year one. I've never really told this story online, and I've never told it really on YouTube like that. I did in a way, but not. I really want to just focus on November to December of the next year. I have been saving, guys. This was 2006, so it's so deep because this would be the 10th year, right? This would be the 10th year of that situation. So the summer of 2006. That spring of 2006, I'm 28 years old. I'm just only 10 years removed from high school, right? So I'm 28. I turned 29 that March of 2006, and a lot of my family has been relocated because of Katrina. I have my cousin who's here with a small business, and he's got a little baby. His son is 10 now, but he was an infant then. And he's 26 years old. So we're young guys, like, we cannot support ourselves or our families off of working for somebody else. We were looking at entrepreneurship. So seeing him do what he did, he left New Orleans after Katrina. And if he's on here, man, I love you, dude. That's all I can say, man. Everything that we've been through over these 10 years, and he was one of the people he was the person really that said, man, tell the people, man, what we've been through so they know what we're talking about. This isn't, we're not guessing about what it takes to do this. We've been through some shit, So anyway, he opened up a tattoo shop here after being relocated from New Orleans. And after seeing him get started, it sparked me to say, man, what am I waiting on? So I took that summer, after I turned 29, that summer, I used to work for a relaxer company, and I saved up every dollar that I had. And I got the lease, like this building that the building I'm in right now is no longer Rhythm, but I got this building. Thank you for that, P. Chevelle Lawrence. That's Pam. Hey there, Pam. So I got the lease like that summer, and I was still working at a salon. I'm 29, man. I'm not even 30, right? I got the lease, and I just ran out there because I was tired of working for the lady I work with, that whole deal. And I got the lease, and, you know, it was an old building, and it was rat droppings, and it was roaches and cobwebs, and it hadn't been used in some years, but it had hardwood floors, and it was mine. It could be mine, right? So every day I would leave the salon. I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell the woman I was working for. I wasn't dating anyone for real at the time. Not for real, you know what I'm saying? I just would leave the salon and park in the back of that building and paint and work on the floors and clean out the damn roaches and play my music. I remember, man, Khalees had just dropped, and My Milkshake, I just remember that song used to come on, and I used to play that over and over again, man. That album, that Bossy album, I just remember that time. So this is 2006, and man, the fall came, and I was still working at the salon, and it got to a point I had been paying rent like June, July, August. I didn't have a business, though. I didn't even have a name. It wasn't even called Rhythm yet. It was just a building. You know, I just knew I wanted to put a salon in. I eventually got like one chair, one dryer, you know, didn't have a sign. I didn't have a phone for the business. I was using my cell phone. I had a little raggedy Nokia phone back then. And I'm not telling this story for pity or any of that. I'm just telling you how we get here and how all of that is such a motivation behind Torgano Education, and how I'm just somebody asked me, man, I'm not trying to do this like anybody else, because the motivation is just so, it just comes from a different place, man. So November, Thanksgiving happened, and I went to go visit my brother in Montgomery, man. And I talked to him, and I talked to my mom, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to let the new year come and I don't be brave enough to open up. So I opened up on Black Friday. The very next day, I took my next client. Black Friday, November 26, 2006. I ain't going to never forget that day. And I had a little apartment at the time. Well, I had a house, you know, I was renting. I'm 29. I thought I was doing it. You know, I had a business, supposedly. I had a house, you know what I mean? I was independent, and I opened up the salon, and I called it Rhythm. And I had one of my clients, who was a nursing student at the time. She was like, you know, if you need my help, you know, I want to work with you. And I denied her for a while, but eventually she became my assistant. And she's very instrumental in the beginning of the business. She's now a nurse practitioner. She's 30 years old, you know, but back then she was like 19. She was had just turned 19. And so we started, and me and her, that's it. You know, I had one assistant, one dryer, one of everything, one sink, one chair. That's it. I had some old furniture I got from the Goodwill. It was this plaid, ugly furniture, but it was mine, right? I named it Rhythm because of my background in music, my love for music, the city that I was from. And I started, man. And I hired my first like employee around December. Didn't know what I was doing as far as an employee. Somebody walked through the door, and the first person that walked through the door and said they wanted to work here, I hired them. And that was a mistake, because ultimately what they wanted to do was just kind of eat off of what I was doing. And I was just ambitious, man. I was ambitious as hell, but I was blind ambition, right? Man, the new year came, and it was a big deal. And, you know, I had a little business, and I was about to turn 30. And Now it's 2007. Now I want you guys to think about what was going on in the world in 2007. I was 20 something years old. I didn't understand what a recession was. I didn't understand how it was going to affect people's lives, how it was going to affect people's money, how was it going to affect whether or not people viewed your business as a luxury or as a necessity. I didn't realize how it was going to affect staffing and whether or not they were going to view you as a real job and whether or not they wanted to go get a real job. I didn't know what was about to happen at all. January came along, and I remember I did my first hair show, and another thing had happened, and that Pam, if you're still on the line, that was the December that Andre passed. So a guy that I used to work for, who was very instrumental in my understanding, one of the baddest hairdressers to ever come out of this city, he died. He what's up, Cash? So I just got you from talking about you, boy. But he passed away, and it for whatever complications, don't matter why he passed away, but he died that December, and it kind of shook me up, man, because I looked up to him in a lot of ways, and we had all kind of situations in our past. I worked for him for about a year, so yeah, man, rest in peace, Andre, man. He was a beast, man, but this amazing talent, I saw it fly away in the city, and it put something else in my spark. Pam, just on the low, a little sidebar, Andre's favorite color was orange, and that was one of the major reasons why I used orange at the beginning of my market in 2006. That's just a little sidebar, Pam. But so that kind of put a little fire in me, like, man, I got to do it for him. I got to do it for all kind of things, right? So January came around, I did this amazing hair show. I got a lot of love, man. I thought we was gaining steam. The assistant was getting better. I was getting clients, but then right about February, something happened. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. Business started to slow up, man. A bunch of salons opened up. I had no idea how to budget money. I didn't know nothing about money, man, at all. I was having trouble paying my rent at my house. And I was having even more trouble keeping this business open. I didn't understand how to keep business for the stylist that was working for me. But I kept going. My birthday was in March, and you're supposed to do it big for your 30th, right? So I threw this crazy, insane house party that cost a lot of money. On some level, if I'm honest today, trying to impress people, trying to act like everything was fine, and it wasn't. Man. Had a DJ, spent money on food. My mama was there March 11th. My birthday is March 11th. So I threw this crazy birthday in March. And shortly after that, my landlord came a-knocking in the end of March. And he like, look, you can't be late on that rent like that. Business almost slowed down to a halt. I was at that party. Yeah, Jill, that party was 10 years ago, man. 9 years ago, really. And it was an amazing party, and it put on, and everybody loved it. But right after that party, Jill and everybody else, man, my money got funny, dog. It got funny. Some of my better friends that are in business now, they weren't in business yet. Tresor wasn't open yet, you know what I mean? So it wasn't I didn't have nobody to talk to on what was going on. My mother had just recently moved. My parents had just went through a divorce. And even though I was an adult, that shook me up. I didn't really know how to deal with that. So Katrina, a good friend of mine in the industry, passed away. I didn't open up a salon. I can't pay the rent. And my folks then went through a divorce. And my mama don't even live in the city no more. And my brother is still away at school. So I'm really by myself. Really. Yeah, it's all good. But I need to tell you what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really dolo. I'm not really dating anybody right now. And, man, I had a hard decision. I had a cousin after Katrina that was living with me that, I love him, but he wasn't bringing no money to the table. He wasn't helping out at the crib at all. And he was using up air, using up water, and I had to go tell him, like, man, I can't afford this apartment. Either I can let the shop go, or I can let the apartment go. And this was April of 2007, and I opened up in November of 2006. I'm not even 6 months old, and there's nobody to help me. My mama ain't got no money. My brother ain't got no money. I'm the oldest brother. I ain't got no chick, you know what I'm saying? My cousin, you know what I'm saying, who got a tattoo shop, he just in 1 year, he got a new baby. They barely making it. Ain't nobody to call. All of my clients didn't move with me to my new business. There's nobody to call. Either you go out of business or you homeless. So, I remember calling 2 of my good friends, and again, my brother wasn't even here. And I was like, dude, I got to move out. And they was like, well, what you going to do? I'm like, I have no damn idea. I have no clue. But I can't afford to pay rent, 2 waters, 2 rents, 2 electrics. And at the time, I didn't even have gas in the building, right? Because I owed the gas people so much money, so I didn't even really have heat. But it happened in the summer, and I wasn't thinking about what was going to happen in the winter. I wasn't even thinking about it. This is May, so I was like, all right, I'll just make it through the summer. Let me not cut the gas bill. And I didn't have no security bill, and wasn't no damn internet. I ain't have none of that. Wasn't no social media to keep you busy. I didn't have cable in this house, in this salon. The only thing I had was every season of Seinfeld and every season of Martin on VHS. That's what I had. And I used to watch that shit over and over. And I could tell you every episode of Martin. Every episode. Because I used to watch that over and over and over again. So I actually moved my stuff out. I sold some stuff. I gave some stuff away. And I moved futon. I had my mattresses in the back because I was trying to get a crib eventually. So this is May of 2006. I just had this amazing 30th bash, and I got a business, and I'm not a year old, and I'm homeless. And when I mean homeless, like there's not a tub in this place, man. There's not a shower. So my same cousin that had the tattoo shop, he would let me come to his house with his family and wash and bathe, you know what I'm saying? By this time I had a little chick, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, let me go wash my ass by her house, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it was crazy, man. I always joke, my clients used to say, man, you're always on time. I was on time because I lived up in this mug. So I used to get up, yeah. I was always here for the 8 o'clock because I was sleeping in here. I was sleeping right here. Never late. Because I would get off. I would park in the back of the salon. I would come through the back door. And at nighttime, man, I had to sit there. Supposedly the best colorist in the city. Supposedly Mr. Hair Show. Broke. Couldn't get a crib. Struggling. By this time, the girl that worked for me, she left because she didn't want to pay booth rent and she didn't want to commit to marketing. So she went and got a regular job. My assistant is still working for me, but she don't even know that I'm homeless. She don't even know because I would be the last one to leave. And then in the morning, she would come at 9 o'clock and I would already be rocking and rolling. My clothes would be in the back porch. There's an old bathroom. So my clothes was back there. My clothes was in my car. My cousin that had the tattoo shop, he would allow me, be careful with that. I asked the question, but if it's derogatory, I will block you. I'm just letting you know now because this is a serious post. Don't come over here playing. So he would let me use the internet. Right? We didn't really have Facebook or anything. This 07, so I wasn't even on Facebook. It wasn't none of that. Right? And I should have just blocked you from the beginning. Guys, it was just, we still was passing out cards. Right? My city still wasn't hip. Let me put this up here so it don't, my city still wasn't hip. That way I ain't got to keep shaking. My city still wasn't hip to hair color. So I'm trying to get them to understand color because I really didn't do weave or extensions or mark, you know what I'm saying, that kind of deal. So May came And then in the summer of that same year, one of my good friends, I was just in his wedding less than a year before that. I mean, one of my best friends, man. To this day, I miss that dude. I got a call that he committed suicide. So on top of all of that, the first year, my dog, my partner, man, this boy done took his life. Didn't tell nobody, didn't leave any reason why. He had a young wife. They wasn't even married a year. And that summer, 2 years after I'm living in the, I had to leave. I want you to really feel this. I had to leave work, guys, every night and come sleep in the same shop. I had to go nights I didn't even get a chance to wipe my ass every night. And then one night, I had to leave, go to this boy's funeral, didn't understand why. I had just talked to him in March for my birthday. He was living in San Francisco, and I had to leave that funeral, man, and come back to this salon, man. I'm a grown man, man. I'm up in here crying and not figuring out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't here. My brother ain't here. My partner done took his life, and I'm homeless in the damn salon. Man, it was crazy. That winter was one of the worst winters I can remember in this city. Yo, we used to get cold, dog, and I didn't have no gas. So this hat, or a hat that looked like this, I literally used to be up in this mug, man, 30 degrees outside with these little heaters. This is it. Because there wasn't no, you know what I mean? It wasn't no heat. So I'm in this mug every night, grinding, trying to get the money up, trying to get a crib. And I'm going to tell you, man, probably the worst thing I could have did. Oh, yeah, man, the coldest winter ever, man. Read that book before, too. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that. Had a client to come in, right? So, is what it is. Guys, it was one of the coldest winters ever. So, 30 degrees, gloves on, jacket, going to sleep, trying to market. We didn't have Facebook or online marketing to kind of talk to people from a distance. I had to still go out after work to Walmart, to the clubs, to the basketball games, to the events to pass out cards. This is 2007. I didn't get hit to Facebook to 08. I didn't get on YouTube to 2009. Wasn't no Instagram, wasn't no Twitter, wasn't no Tumblr, wasn't no Snapchat, wasn't no Periscope. None of that was out. Smartphones wasn't even out. Wasn't no iPhones. Wasn't none of that. Android, none of that. We had Nokias and Razors. That's all we had, right? So, man, that winter, man, it got... Yo, man, Jamaica Grill, you already know, Will. We was out there, man. Me and Monica, dog. Making it happen. That winter, I'm talking about putting on a facade, guys. Now, it was coming up on my 1-year anniversary. Now, I was living a lie. Because I was, matter of fact, let's go back. My stupid self told the world I was going to do a fashion show. I was homeless. Jill, if you still on here, Rhythm on the Runway, the first year, I didn't have an apartment. I didn't have nowhere to live. But I told people we were going to do the fashion show, so I still went through it, even though we didn't have no money. So I was spending all the money I was saving. I spent it to try to keep the image going that I had it together, and I didn't. Somebody said, that was a great fashion show. Yeah, but I was broke. It was not smart, right? I did that show for 3 years, and yeah, man, ask Keisha, ask Batee. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, she knew, man. It wasn't no. I left that fact. I left the. Matter of fact, one of my best friends came in town to help me with that show, and I couldn't even let her stay at my crib. I had to. I had to put her up at a hotel because there was nowhere to take her. And I still lived in the shop. Craziness. Craziness. Craziness, man. Why? Because I got to look like I'm winning, and I wasn't winning. I probably should have closed the salon. Probably. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, man, take this stuff. Don't do this. Don't get out there without training. Don't get out there without understanding. Guys, so then that's July. So August come around, the economy is shitty. People losing their houses, people losing their jobs, the mortgage game, that movie Big Shot, that movie Big Short, that's out right now. That was 07, 08. That was the years we was in business. That was in the years and Skintastic and Rhythm was supposedly at their height, but we was really struggling. If it wasn't for education and me being technically sound and me just being young with no children and no wife and just crazy, yo, man, I don't even know how we would have made it, P. If we just didn't have tremendous hustle, man, but we should have been broke. It should have broke us. Back to school, it started to level out a little bit. A little bit. It started to level out a little bit. We got through back to school, and I realized, like, I had to get smart about money, man. Man, I'm still going to parent house. So think about that. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, I'm living in the shop. I'm living in Rhythm. I have no apartment. My mother does not live here. I cannot go live with her. And my brother is in college, and me and my pops is not cool. Me and my father was not cool at that time. I'm the oldest son. My mama got a little apartment in Montgomery. I can't go there. My brother in college. Ain't no chick. 7, 8, 9 months, I lived in this mug. I washed and bathed at other people's shop. Washing my armpits in a bathroom outside on a porch. And why am I saying all this? I'm going to get to the point why I'm saying all this, right? So it started to get cold like September. Yo, it was cold. Dog, it was cold. It was so cold, it was funny at that time. People trying to date and people trying to holler. I'm like, let me be clear. At that point, my current wife she was flirting. I ain't got nowhere to take her. I don't have a crib. I don't even have a crib, dog. So she would be like, well, let's go on a date. And I'd be like, meet me at the shop. Man, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. Yo, you want to go somewhere? Meet me at the salon. I'll meet you at the shop. Let's hang out at the shop. I did not have a crib, man. She did not know that for months. Months. So even now, you know what I'm saying? Even as she the wife, I remember, man, she used to rock with me when it wasn't Nathaniel. The boy didn't have no money. I still don't have a staff. It's just me and my assistant because people scared to work in the salon industry in 2007. Man, that winter, yo, man, let me go back. So Skintastic was turning 2 years. And my cousin gave me the bright idea, man, we should do our anniversaries together. So I got to keep this facade going. I wasn't done with trying to act like I had it together. Still sleeping with this hat. He was like, man, let's do an anniversary party. Let's rent out a club and do it big. So, man, I took my last little coins on November of that year. And we threw this crazy, crazy party, man. Crazy party. Will, you was there. I don't know if you was there, Jill. Legendary anniversary party. That night, I went back to the salon. It just don't make, it's funny, but it's stupid. It's really crazy. It's a part of my story, but I should have asked for help. I should have went out and reached out. I should have got some understanding. But yeah, man, we DJ'd our own party. We rented out this club. Crazy. It was like 300 people. But that night, I remember coming home and taking off my outfit. I thought I was too fresh in the shop. Man, that was crazy. Man, why? Because I didn't have any understanding of money, any understanding of business. By that point, I had a couple other people that started working for me, right? Maybe like that December, they came on board. That December, it got so cold, I couldn't take it no more. Like, I had to start staying some nights by my cousin's house. I had to start staying by a friend's house. It was so cold. It was like under 30 degrees, like 20-something degrees. Like, I couldn't stay in here no more. It was too cold. So I had to make a decision. And at this point, it's getting a little serious with my wife today. She was just my little boo back then. And I got a little piece of crib, man. It was like, all I could afford at the time was like $450, man. I had a little piece of apartment. And I vowed, man, like when I finally got that crib, I was like, man, I'm not going through this again. Man, I'm about to read books. Man, I'm about to get this training. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to understand this in a different way because I thought because I knew how to do hair, that automatically qualified me to run a salon. It don't. It don't. I'm telling you. Just because you could do hair, don't run out there and think you know how to run a salon, dog. It's different. It's different. It's different, man. Running a business is just that. Running a chair in a booth is just that. That's totally different. That's totally different. Absolutely. You're right, Mr. Brad. Yo, I did not understand about management, money, marketing, exposure, finances, hiring, firing, interviews. Patrice, I didn't understand any of that. Ryan was in school. He didn't have no money. He didn't even really know what was going through. My brother didn't even really know what was going through. He was pledging. He was in the band. He didn't know. Nobody really knew. This story, a lot of people don't even know this that know me that's on this call. They don't know this because I held it together like it was all good. Man, don't do that. Ask for help, man. Ask somebody how this thing go, man, because you could be out here struggling. Ryan didn't know, Patrice. He didn't know. He knew a little bit, but not a lot. He had no car. He couldn't come out here. My brother was like, if I'm 29, Ryan like 20. He didn't know anything. My mama didn't really know. She was struggling with a divorce. She was just recovering from that. She didn't know. There ain't nobody knew. And there was nobody to cry to. I had to say, man, I had to learn differently. So that year, I started a different understanding, guys. I started reading books. I started to understand money a lot different. I started to look and search for mentors that could understand. I started not focusing only on hair only. I started to try to understand, okay, I'm an owner. I'm an owner of a business. Like this is a different ball game. This is a whole different ball game than running a booth, right? This my livelihood. By this point, this girl that I was dating had turned into my girlfriend. And I saw shortly in 2008, she started looking at me like, yo, I ain't going nowhere. So the idea of, man, can I take care of a household with this money? Can I provide for a family with this? Can I be worrying about? So let me put this in perspective. So when I get stylists that come here and want to tell me what they gonna do, nah, you ain't telling me what that shit is not going down. You know why? Because they don't know. They don't know. 30 people came through this salon. They barely know that story. Man, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm not gonna do. Shit. Ain't no what you about to do, man. I fought for this. When a stylist bring her husband up here and he about to tell me what's gonna happen with his wife. Ain't none of that going down, dog. This mine. I'm fighting for this. You feel me? So when people try to make it all about the glitz and glamour, man, I don't even play that game. I don't even play that game. You know why? Because it ain't about that, dog. I remember, I don't care. Look, I have stayed in the best of hotels, ate the best steak, the best seafood, baby. I done been all over the world. But I remember this. I remember right here. I remember going to sleep just like this for 9 months. 9 months I was on a full-time. 9 months. So guess what, man? This ain't about being popular. I don't care about no awards. I don't care about no hair show. I don't care about no blog. I don't care about no magazine, dog. I don't care about none of that. And I done had all of that. I done been interviews. I done had tons of awards. The only thing this is about, if anybody ever want to work for me, work with me, you got to be very clear, man. This is about taking care of you, your family, and your legacy, man. That's it. I I don't want to be popular in hair, man. That don't do nothing, dog. Man, man, none of that matters, dog. None of that matters. Man, you popular, man. Man, they just gave you an award for the beauty. Man, I don't care nothing about that, Patrice, Will. I don't care nothing about that, dog, because I realize it's just me. And it's probably just you. Mimi, it's probably just you down there in New Orleans, ma. So you got to do what you got to do, man, and realize, yo, man, don't get caught up in all of that fame and all of that hype and partying and a blog and reposts and comments and Facebook likes and Instagram likes, man. I ain't doing it for that, man. I'm not doing it for that, man. I'm not trying to ball out with money. So all of that happened. Eventually, it still got bad. Because then after that, I had 2 walkouts with staffs. I could tell a whole nother story with that. So can you understand when I say Torregano education? This summer hit harder than ever before for me. I know, ma. It's rough. This is rough. This independent, because nobody told us we was going to be entrepreneurs. They told us we was going to school for hair. They didn't tell us when you got that license, you on your own. You in business for yourself. Nobody told us that. They said, here's a license. Everything's going to make sense because now you can get paid for doing hair. They didn't tell you that the rent man want his money. That the product man want his money. That the gas man will cut your shit off. That the water man will cut it off. The internet man will cut the phone off. Will cut the internet off. And if you don't have a business that can provide finances for all of that, and pay staff, and bring money home, and help family, and help yourself, you're going to be struggling. So when it's time for me to start an education company, I can't just talk to you about hair. I couldn't even sleep at night if all I did was taught you hair color. I can't do that. I gotta teach you about this business, man. I gotta teach you about this game, man. I gotta teach you that you cannot focus on worrying about getting popular and being notarized in this city, man. In your city, in the world. Who cares about that? Social media, man. This is about you, your family, and your life. That's it. That's it. But I'm licensed, man. License don't mean nothing, dog. I was licensed. I was very good. I was crushing them in the city. I was broke. And in here for 9 months, struggling. Everything I ate was out of a microwave. I ain't had no stove. Wasn't no stove. Microwave, baby. Hot Pockets. Eating out every day, spending up the money. Foolishness. Foolish. So can we understand Torregano education? Better hairdressers, better salons, better lives. Because I can't, man. I can't let people, if I can help it, yo, I don't want y'all to go through that, man. If I can help it. If I can help it, I don't want you to go through that. Now, it's tough. It's tough. Man, I've had to release people from my business because I know they didn't understand that. That was the hardest thing to ever do. When they're not really fired, it's just they can't understand how serious it is with the money, and they don't understand I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that. So you gotta look them in the face and say, I love you, but I'm not going back. I gotta figure out another way because I sat in this mug for 9 months. I'm not going back. And it may take you a little bit while to get it, but right now we're gonna have to part ways. Man, that's hard, man. That's hard to do. But I've been in this game too long. I know it. I know it, man. And if you're out there, guys, don't get caught up in just learning technical, man. That's why I want you to invest in Torregano education, because there's no way I can teach you just hair. I gotta teach you how to market. I gotta teach you how to balance the books. I gotta teach you about booking. I gotta teach you about salon experience. I gotta teach you about consistency of client and retaining clients. So important. I got to show you that because it's not exempt that couldn't happen again. 07, 08 could happen again. We never really recovered from that. Not for real. We never really recovered from that 07, 08. And then the hair business is getting more and more saturated. More and more people jumping out of here, not knowing what they're doing, messing the game up. So you got to be on it, man. And so many people ask me this question: how do I get clientele? And what they're really asking is, why is it that I have a license, that I'm a stylist, that I know how to do hair, and I'm broke, and I'm booked? They can't rationalize. I thought it was just supposed to be about the hair. I thought it was gonna be enough that I got the license, man. Because them schools and nobody taught us that you can get out here, dog, and you could be in your my first year, guys. Now, by the grace, you know what I mean, I went on to 9 years of success in that business, but the first year almost took me out. The first year I was almost out of here, man. So 9 years later, right, I'm here and I'm able to provide an understanding to shift into education. But them early years, man, that was a hard year. I turned 30. I went homeless. I lost a homeboy. I lost a co-worker. My folks divorced. And it was a year after Katrina. It washed my city away. Crazy. Craziness. If I had children, I don't know what would have happened. If I had a child back then, I don't know what would have happened. If I had a wife or a home, I don't know what would have happened back then. I don't even know. I'm just lucky. I'm lucky I didn't get no lawsuits. I'm telling you, man, it's that's real talk. None of that is fabricated at all. I'm not even really trying to glorify it. I'm just letting you know that when and if you see me flying on a Learjet, because that can happen too, just know I was also in the back of my salon eating a Hot Pocket with this hat on in the cold with 2 heaters. Know that. Know that I'm on the Learjet, but 9 years ago, I was in this mug, homeless, for almost a year, struggling. At my wedding, I start crying, right? I'm being real open right now. Everybody was like, oh, he crying because of his bride. She was pretty. She was gorgeous. But man, it hit me. It hit me, man, at that altar. Dag, man, I done came a long, long way, Jakenya Crawford. Man, you could have took me out of here. Man, I can't believe I built a business that could pay for this old crazy wedding. Man, so yeah, man, some of my family wasn't even there. Man, it hit me like, yo, man. So yeah, I was crying, but it wasn't just because of her. It was thinking about where I had been through. And that was just 6 years later that I was able to even provide that kind of wedding. It was crazy. That if anybody that's on here that was there, that was your boy. That was a lot of money of that was your boy. A lot. So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to have something like Periscope because I don't feel like I'm talking to, even on YouTube. I could have shared this on YouTube. I could have. But I think this network of people are becoming family. You guys are becoming, you are the tribe. And you believe in the logic of Torregano education and the mission of Torregano education. And this is a part of it. That story is truly the beginnings of how I got here. How I was brave enough to close the salon down. How I was brave enough to say no more booth rent. How I was brave enough to say no more relaxer. How I was brave enough to say we're going to change our hours. How I was brave enough to say we're going to go to an all blowout bar. Why? Because I started off having to jump from the very beginning. From the very beginning. How honestly I could hire and I could fire because it's not business, it's not personal. It's a mission that I got to get to. And if there are people on the call that were former employees, I still love you. I still love you. But I hope with this story you understand it wasn't personal, man. It wasn't personal. I had to win. We had to win. And I hope you winning. But at that time, man, it started to feel like I was going back, and we can't have that. Can't go back, man. Can't go back, guys. So I don't know if I drop this on YouTube. I may, you know what I'm saying? I hope it inspires somebody I hope you understand me better. Somebody say, man, he's so hyped. Man, he must be taking coffee. Man, he must be. Man, I live with that story every day. Every day. So I ain't got no reason to be sad, man. When 82 people listening to this story, I ain't got no reason to be sad. I ain't got no hate, no negativity, man. No, I don't drink. No, I don't smoke. No, I'm not taking coffee like that, man. What I'm telling you is, man, they let me see. The gods above let me get to this point. So now, I believe that it is my mission to prevent all 82, 83, 84 y'all, and however the number, it's for you, Britt. It's for you, Patrice. It's for you, Miss Sagittarius. It's for you, Mimi. Right? And if you want to know who that cousin was that kept helping me, some of you guys are following Cash Parrish. He was the cousin. He was the family member that was letting me come to his house. He was the family member that was feeding me. He was the family member that was letting me use his internet at his business that he was trying to keep together. So when you hear the conviction in his voice, it's because we went through the same thing. We went through it together. So when you follow his Periscope, know he got a story too. So that's why we connected, because if it wasn't for each other, man, we wouldn't have made it, baby. We wouldn't have made it. If you got an opportunity for me, send that information to my torregano.education. Send it to my Gmail, torregano.education. Somebody run that across the screen, right? Yeah, man, they see the glory but don't know the story. So when I see people that want to rock with me and they want to come to the photo shoots and they want to come to the parties and they want to go to the events and they want to eat the free food, and man, you got to grind. You got to help me. I'm not carrying nobody, man. No, we're not carrying nobody, but I will give my last to whomever wants to put in that work with me and help me, right? So I've been truly blessed, man, since that time. Unbelievably, to think some of the places I've been where hair has taken me. But I got a real reality check that first year. Like, man, it don't matter how good you are. It don't matter, man. You can be out in the cold, man. You could be out in the cold. Thank you for that. Thank you for all of that. Thank you for all of that love, guys. Thank you, guys. Made it through the flyer, man. I'm glad you shared. Thank you, man. I'm just trying to let you know, man, like I'm not trying to be at Bronner Brothers, man. I'm not trying to be on the Housewives of Atlanta, man. I'm not trying to do none of that. None of that. We already did it. We already did it. We did fashion shows and hair shows and shut down clubs. That boy threw a party at a naval museum, man. We already did that. We don't want that no more. Now it's time for people to pay mortgages, man. Now it's time for people to put their kids through college. Now it's time for them to have a real business that they can leave to their family. Now it's time for us to really have enough money in the bank to help ourselves and our family, dog. Now it's time to have a real lifestyle. Now it's time to stop struggling. That's what I'm on. I ain't on nothing else, man. Somebody said, when you going to do a styling team? Man, I'm not on that. I'm not on that, man. I'm not on none of that, Jill. None of that. They can have all of that, dog. This is about taking care of you, taking care of your skill set, getting better salons, and you can have a real life. Because I don't want none of y'all to feel 20 degrees in the back of a salon and feeling like an absolute failure. You don't want that feeling, dog. And if I could do anything for you, well, you ain't got to feel that, contact me, please. Contact my company, please. Contact me, man. So I'm going to take this hat off because I wanted a little drama for y'all. But that's not where we at right now, man. So now where we at, you know, and all of that helped me even make the decision, guys, to say with the salon, okay, I've done what I had to do with a salon. Now let's create an education company, man, that can go out and help people, small businesses, small salons, in particular people that look like me. I'm not apologetic of that. Somebody say, are you just for black people? Nope. But I do have a love for black folk. I do. Because nobody's teaching us. And I do believe things like the booth rent model is one of the main things that's hurting us, because it doesn't allow growth a lot of times for the stylist or the owner. So I really want to help technically, business structure, and how to balance this all with your lifestyle and with your family, guys. I'm just letting you know. Torgano Education, man. February the 8th, February 22nd, February 28th, right? Those are the 3 classes. You represent the ability to innovate in this profession. Hey, Patrice. I love you, mama. I appreciate that. Hello, lady, comfortable self. You hear me back there screaming? Yeah. Telling my little story, Malasha. They ain't know all of that, sweetie. This right here. Ain't nothing like a college student who take care of their health. Sing, sweetie. I'll be right with you. You getting anything done today? Gloss or anything? Or just a blowout? Just blowout. All right. Hey, man. Had a client in the front of the salon, you know, and she's going to the sink. I just wanted to step out for a little bit. It's getting a little hot. Hey, man. Man, we got so much to give to folks, man, and it's coming from so many different places. But that year, man, is a defining year. So, Patrice, if you're still on here, can you imagine what it felt like to take that sign down this year? That was a tough one. That was a tough one, Ma. That was hard. You know what I mean? To go through what we went through. But it's all good. It's all good. And somebody say, oh, he doing this for pity. I'm not. Because what I understand is all of that had to happen for me to come to today. Oh, man. I had to meet everybody. 30 people worked here over 9 years. I had to meet all of them. I had to learn from all of them. I had to learn. I'm excited for what's to come, man. It's about to go down, Mimi. And it's coming from a totally different place. We got so many other things to give. Some of it got everything to do with hair. Some of it don't. What's going to happen when we had a Torgano Education financial conference? What's going to happen when we have the salon owner breakout conference? What's going to happen when we bring health into the mix? Fitness. Oh, you thought this was just hair? Man, this something else. This something else, man. What happens when we have the Torgano Education digital marketing course? What? What happened when we have motivational speakers come to conferences? Huh? What happens when we have a conference and we have people like Quintessence Brand Development and Cash Parrish give you an understanding of search engine optimization? Huh? Systems in your business, man. This is a totally different beast. Because I realize just teaching people hair, man, you're almost crippling them. You're almost crippling them. Because I could do hair that year. That year I was in here struggling. I was one of the best hairdressers in the city. And I was still broke. I was struggling. So it ain't just hair, man. Don't unfollow me right now if all you want to learn is how to do better hair. Stay with me if you want better hairdressers, better salons, and better lives. February the 8th, man, book the ticket, man. Book it, man. Don't think about it no more, man. Not just for me, but I'm telling you, man, you got somebody that's going to truly pour into your business, man. This company and me, man. February the 22nd, stop thinking about it, man. Stop thinking about it. Put that little money together, man, and get down here to Columbus, man. Come on. February the 28th, man, stop thinking about it, man. Come on. Come on with it, man. Follow, man. Share this video with your friends. Share this with your friends. Tell your coworkers, man, that it's something different. It's something, I just don't want that. I don't want that for you, Lil Suge. I'll see you next month. I don't want that for you, Mimi. I don't want that for you, Black Rain. I don't want it. I don't want it for you, Chocolate Shell. I don't want it, man. Nah, not Ohio, Columbus, Georgia. I don't want it for you, Ty. I think you just signed up last night. Taisha Kirk, is that you right there? I saw you purchase your ticket last night. Is that Taisha? Absolutely, Taisha. We'll see you. We'll see you. I saw you with your folks. We're going to be sold out, man. Thanks for the story. I hope it helped. You know what I'm saying? I love the hearts. If I didn't answer any of your questions, guys, I was just trying to get the story out. Yeah, my hairline is gone. That's fine. I just need a haircut. Right? See, can you imagine? Can you see how the people on Periscope can't affect me? when they come on here and talk about my hairline or nigger or say stupid stuff, it can't affect me, man. It's armor. It's armor, man. I done been through it. I done been through it, man. I done been through it. Nothing they can do. Too good for distractions, man. Too strong. I done been through it. I can't with the people. Too invincible. Absolutely. I'll be at Bronner Brothers just to meet everybody, shake hands, kiss the babies. I'm going to be up there Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday I'm not going to be there long because I got to start prepping for our class in Columbus, an hour and a half south, on Monday. So I'll be at Bronner just to kind of meet everybody because I want to meet people face to face. So if you guys are coming to Bronner, please stop me. Please take a picture. Please let's talk. They're talking to people that give them life and all they want is death. Absolutely. So if you see me at BB Guys, stop me. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk. In the Northeast anytime soon. Not right now. The base of what we're doing with the education is going to be on my turf here in Columbus, Georgia. Wish I could be there, but I will be moving to the West Coast. I understand. Can't wait to see you there. Absolutely, I'll be there. I'll be there both days, but I'll be there mostly on Saturday. And then on Monday, it's going down, man. We're going to rock and roll that day. I may even have something special for that particular class. Each class is going to have something special, but I'm working on something unique for the 22nd class. But the February 8th, we already got it mapped out. We may even have a guest speaker for the February the 8th, man. We're just adding tremendous value, guys. And I just hope you can feel it. I wish I could have been there that Monday. Absolutely. So that's it. I got to get on my client, guys. But like the beginning of the post said, man, 5 months after I opened up in this very building, literally, man, that's what I would do, guys. At the shop, I used to park right here, and I would go to the back of the building. Come by the Design Essentials booth, please. I have to work it. Absolutely, I'll be there. I'll be by the Design Essentials booth. Yeah, man. And I would go up in here, man. So shout out to Cash Parrish, man. Those beginning years, dog. If I ain't never said it, man, thank you. Thank you for leading the way. Thank you for showing me business. Thank you for showing me how to balance being a father and a husband with this shit. Thank you for the key to getting your crib, eating up your Wi-Fi at your business, dog. I just front row at everything, supporting everything, man. I don't know, dog. I don't know how either one of us would have made it, dog, at the very beginning. So follow him, man. Follow him now. He's not in the hair business, guys. He is a small business strategist. And mainly because we done made a lot of mistakes and we done made a lot of successes, and we know what to tell people if you choose to go out here and work on your own. So I would encourage you guys to follow at Cash Parrish on Periscope, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and as well as Quintessence Brand Development on YouTube, guys. We got a movement separate, and you're going to even see us together a couple times this year. You guys have an awesome Thursday. Hope you enjoyed this post. I don't know how long it is, but that's the game. That's Cash Parrish at the bottom, guys. So screenshot that and follow him. You are still so humble and not afraid to share talent and teachings. It's too much out here, Pam. It's too much out here, right? Stuff like your daughter came here Friday and just laced us. We weren't even looking for that, but I keep getting blessings, so it's too much abundance for me to hold it to myself. You know what I mean? It's too much out here. This is a big old world, guys. I don't have any reason to hold anything back or worry about somebody taking something from me. So I appreciate that, Pam. I appreciate that. You guys have a great day. I'm out. Share this to your people. Rewatch it. I may or may not drop this on Instagram, but it was really special in particular for my Periscope crew because I think you guys are the people that are coming to the classes. You guys are the ones that are following the movement. And I do believe this Periscope thing was a blessing because we can have these kind of conversations and talk to the people, man. Yo, I'm still the same dude, but part of the story was a tremendous valley at the beginning before we can be on this hill or this mountaintop right now. We was in a valley at the beginning. So if you're out there, if you're in a small salon, if you're thinking about it, yo, come to the conference, man. Come to Color Confidence, come to the workshop. Let's talk about maybe some one-on-one coaching because there's some things that you need to have in place before you get out there. If you're in a situation where you're at a salon and you're with a salon owner, please, man, and you just don't like them, just go to dinner with them. Go to lunch with them and ask them what they're dealing with in order to keep that salon open. You might be really surprised to figure out what's going on, how hard it is to run these salons, to keep them open and keep people paid. There were times during that time, guys, when the salon bills was getting paid, the people was making money, but I wasn't. There are times I had to pay people paychecks with my savings account. You didn't hear me. There are times I had to pay people on my staff from my personal savings because the business wasn't making money. I said no more to that. And you need to say the same. So do not think, guys, just because you could do hair that qualifies you to run a salon. Go get some different kind of training that don't have nothing to do with hair. Finances, leadership, management, marketing. Man. February 8th, 22nd, 28th, guys. Better hairdressers, better salons, better lives.